Hello, my name is Johnny and welcome to my channel, JS. Today, we're going to be using this pretty specialized little tool here. If you don't know what this is, then hang around so that you can learn something new. And if you do know what this is, hang around so that you can watch us put it into use. If you haven't seen our last several videos, this is our 1948 Ford F4 truck. And this is our project truck that we've been working on for a couple videos now. And this is the flathead V8 that we pulled out of it that we're trying to get running again. Our project that we're working on right now is getting all of the pistons out so that we can replace the pistons and the piston rings. The issue with this, and it's going to be hard to show on camera here, but there's a ring all around the top of these pistons. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see that ring. It's just barely showed, gleams a little bit around the top. Now what that is that's because these pistons, as you can see, the top piston ring here sits about 3/8 of an inch below the top of the piston. And these pistons at the top of their stroke, as you can see, is just like this. They sit just flat. And so the piston ring only wears to about, 3/8 or a 1/4 inch below the top of the block. And after who knows how many miles this engine has been put through, it has worn away the engine wall, right, the cylinder wall here, until there's been a ring left at the very top from where it hasn't worn from the piston rings from the moving up and down. Because of this ridge here at the top, that piston ring catches on it. And so, as you can see, I can push up from the bottom. It's kind of hard to see. I'm pushing up from the bottom here to try to push it out, and it won't move because it gets caught. That top ring gets caught on that lip. So that's where this really specialized tool here comes in. This tool is called a ridge reamer. And what this does is this is used to remove that ridge. And I've already done it on this piston here. And as you can see where there's that shiny band around the top. That's where this ridge reamer, it has a carbide tip right here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right there. There's this carbide tip, and we use this, and it scrapes along the top edge, and it removes that ring until it's flat enough and smooth enough all the way around to actually remove your piston. And so I'm going to be showing you how that works, how you use this, and then we're going to be pulling the pistons out of the engine today. Now, I got this specific ridge reamer here from Speedway Motors online. It was $90. So if you want to get this exact one so you can do this too, that's where I found it. Now, using this requires 2 wrenches, 9/16 and a 13/16. The first thing you do is you just got to get it close enough that you can kind of get just loosely to fit in here. Now, there's both here, and kind of here. It's going to sit on top of your block, and it's going to scrape around. You can kind of see where it's a little bit shiny. That's just where it scrapes around on top, and that's going to help keep it flat so that it's not tilting inside your block. Now, you're just going to take this, and once it's in there, once it's nice and flat, you're just going to tighten it till it is just snug. Not crazy tight, nothing insane, just nice and snug. You're going to take a 13/16, and here's the really important part. First important part, you have to go clockwise. You can't go counterclockwise or you'll ruin up your blade. But the important part is you have to hold this down, like firmly, while you're spinning it around clockwise. Otherwise, one of these sides will lift up, as you know, when I'm pushing on this side, right? I'm kind of pushing up this way. This will lift up and it'll kink, and then you'll like cut some really deep grooves into the side. One thing that I have found helps is that if instead of using the end here like this, which you might think it makes a little bit more sense, the issue with this is that this puts an angle on most wrenches. This is at a slight angle, so this is tilted out. And when you're doing that, it's really hard to keep a perfect side pressure without pushing up, and it wants to lift up that back side and kink it and then dig in the side. If you use your flat side instead and keep it flat, it makes it a lot easier to get a nice even cut around the edge. Just take your time. It's not a quick process, but you just take it and you gotta hold it down. Make sure you're not kinking it. You'll hear it slicing. You can hear it scraping, and then once it gets loose, once you feel that it's getting loose, like I can feel here, you're just going to reattach your 9/16 here, and just bring it back down snug again. And then you just got to repeat that same process, just scraping around, not doing your best not to let it tilt at all. And yeah, the big thing is just to take your time. And then you can always, whenever, as you're going, you can just feel there's all these gaps here, and you can feel how much progress you're making. And I can feel that I'm making some decent progress here. Okay, and so here, we finally have it smooth. I can feel in here, right, no noticeable lip anymore whatsoever. So then when that happens, take off field 13/16 and just loosen it up one turn. It'll slide right out, and there you go. This is now completely reamed. Let me show you here. As you can see here, you can see where there's a nice, and you can see where it's grounded all along the edge here. You can see kind of there's kind of a wavy pattern, but it's smoothly, and so then I can feel all the way around. There's no more ridge there. So this piston here, which is the one that we're pulling out, can now slide out. Now, one really important thing is that, as you can see here in the cylinder now, left over is all of those scrapings, those filings, whatever you want to call it, essentially the metal that we took off of that ridge. It's all sitting in that cylinder now. So if we were to pull out the piston, it would act as an abrasive, and it would scratch up your cylinder wall. So the first thing you want to do here is take an air wand like this and blow that all out. Now once that's all out, now we can pull out that cylinder. And there we go. The piston come out. This is actually the first piston here that has had an intact top piston ring here. Every single one so far that has come out has had a broken piston ring, so that's something there. Okay, finally, with the help of this ridge reamer here, we were able to get all 8 of the pistons here out of the engine. The final tally here is 4 pistons that are all blown, as you can see, blown through the top of the piston. 3 pistons that had a broken piston ring, the top one. They were all broken in at least one, if not several locations. And only 1 piston that is actually all together, has all the piston rings together, and is not blown whatsoever. So that is not a great place to be. That's not where we were hoping this project would take us, but that's just how things go sometimes. In the next video, we will go ahead and we're going to replace the pistons and the piston rings on all 8 cylinders. But for this video, that's all that I have for you. Hopefully you learned something new today about what a ridge reamer was, or at least you got to see it put into use. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys watching through it all. If you did like it, please consider giving me a like and a subscribe. That really helps out my channel a lot. And if you want to leave a comment, I really do appreciate it. I read all those comments, and I have a lot of fun reading through those and seeing what kind of feedback you guys have for me. So thanks again so much for watching. I hope to see you guys all in the next video. Goodbye.